Minecraft has an inventory problem. This isn't some revelation or conspiracy, but a basic and well-known fact if you've played survival in the last 5 years. Every player has just 36 slots of inventory space, including the hotbar. It's 37 if you count the offhand slot, but that's completely insufficient for the scope of the game and how many items are being added over time. Let's take a deeper look. Before we dive in, if you enjoy this, make sure to subscribe. It really helps me with the YouTube algorithm and allows you to get notified of great content when it releases. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers, so make sure to help me out. Let's start by looking at the history of the inventory compared with how many items are being added to the game. The inventory is a core feature of the game, being almost as old as the game itself, coming in Dev 31 in late 2009. Looking at screenshots from this period, it looks shockingly familiar. There were 36 slots then as well. The inventory hasn't been expanded since then, except for adding the crafting grid a month later and the offhand slot in 1.9. So 37 since 2016. Now, sorry about this, but we need to do some math. Since I'm a nerd, I decided to make a graph of inventory space and total number of items over time. Of course, no dataset for this exists, so it took a while, but here we are. For reference, these are just the total number of items at the end of each year, including snapshots released in each year, not just full updates. The total item count was 42 at the end of 2009. Now, in 2022, it stands at 366. This is a 900% increase in items, while total inventory slots have increased by just 1, that being the offhand's inclusion. On average, the amount of inventory space has increased by 13 items every update since Minecraft 1.0. To be fair, this is a slightly skewed way of looking at things because most players will have storage systems or at least several chests to keep items in. Also, in the endgame, Shulker boxes come into play, which drastically increases the amount of items you can carry. A Shulker box has 27 slots, and you can carry 37 of them if you want, which means a total capacity of 999 items is available. Of course, the issue with this is that you have to label 37 boxes with little differentiation, and you need to sort of name them, color code them, which is just not intuitive. Another way to store more items is with the Ender chest, which can also hold 27 Shulker boxes, for a total of 1,701 item slots, which is pretty good, but once again, extremely endgame and unintuitive. There should be a better solution available in the early to mid game before you go to the end to make exploring more fun and easy. If you've played the game recently, you'll know how bad it is. Personally, this is the setup I like to run in survival. With tools, food, water, torches, coal, wood, a boat, and anything else I need for exploration, half my slots are already taken up. If I'm going mining, which is something I enjoy, I need to throw out dozens of stacks of cobblestone that I'll pick up, and eventually I'll juggle between choosing which ores to keep. Often this means dropping redstone since it's least used on the servers I play. Hence, on the occasion that it is needed, we're often short on it since we just don't have the space to carry it back. A solution is absolutely needed. Let's start with the proposal they made in the Caves and Cliffs update. Among the features announced, which never came, were the bundles, which went with archaeology. These were basically sacks used to carry items. It was crafted with rabbit hide and string, finally giving that item a use, and giving a reason for people to interact with rabbits at all. The system was kinda confusing. Items which stacked to 64 would take up 1 slot, items that stacked to 16 would take up 4 slots, and unstackable items would take up an entire bundle, I think.
So the thing with the bundle is that you can place many different kinds of items in one bundle. So many different kinds of items in one inventory slot. So for example, I can take those 2 flowers and 1 seed and put them in one bundle. It's great.
And you can kind of use them like presents too.
Oh yes, I'm so excited about seeing what players do them in like shopping district, right? You can have the bundle of the day, which has a bunch of things with it, or you can have secret bundles where you have 3 of them in a chest, but you get a random one.
You could have a total of 64 items. This is probably for balance and to make players still want to upgrade to Shulker boxes, but also part of the reason it was delayed from the Caves and Cliffs update. I'm not sure if they'll ever come to Java, but there are better solutions. Let's run through them. First of all, simply increase the size of the basic inventory. Maybe instead of being the size of a chest with a hotbar, it should be the size of a double chest plus hotbar, 63 slots. We could also add extra slots like the arrow slot, which was proposed in 1.9, which turned into the offhand. This would definitely alleviate the problem, but we need a more future-proof solution. As a dozen items are added every year, we need to make sure that in another 10 years' time, we'll not be complaining about the same thing. I think bundles are a great start, but we can improve on the system by simplifying it. Maybe it should be 32 items with a more straightforward cap, and like this user suggested on Reddit, they could be displayed on the side with a hotkey or button, which makes it way easier to interact with while in your inventory. Another solid suggestion I found builds off the idea of bundles in a unique way. In the simplest terms, it's a second hotbar, which gives the inventory an extra 9 slots. But it'll be swappable with the main hotbar using a hotkey. So if you're building with a lot of materials, for example, you can switch which ones you have access to quickly and conveniently. In this proposal, it does not come preloaded, but needs to be crafted. Essentially, it would take a bundle, crafted with a pair of leggings to make something like a pocket or satchel, which serves as the second hotbar. I've seen many suggestions that go further, but in my opinion, anything more is not in line with the spirit of the game, it just doesn't fit. Backpacks, for example, feel too modern, while sacks or bundles fit more with the theme of the game. The pocket hotbar, like I said, is a decent middle ground, but I'm sure y'all are teeming with ideas for this. Make sure to leave them in the comments below. Finally, like the video if you liked it, as it really helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you want to get notified when more great content releases, make sure you're subscribed since we're on the road to 2,000 as soon as possible. And good night.